Alright, everybody, just to put in a nice background. But anyway, guys, happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Trying to not really, because it is hot. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys too. I'm sure everybody's feeling the heat. Probably some places even worse where I'm at, but for us and for here, yeah, well, and plus, this is probably the first. We have not seen very much of the hot weather since I don't know when, honestly. But today it's just like, yeah, you walk outside and you feel like you're walking into an oven. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But I do also want to talk about too is I'm sure a lot of you, you have heard, or you probably haven't seen the news clip, or you probably see it on here because I'm sure again, everybody posts because and then everybody tries to make, of course, either hate or negativity, like, because y'all probably heard when Trump definitely dropped the F-bomb, and of course, to hear a president swear, I'm sure everybody's, but it's like, dude, I'm sure there's other presidents that have cussed, whether they cussed on camera or off, but but also you don't blame Trump because, again, we were all kind of, I know everybody was on edge with, again, this whole, when Trump fired at Iran and take out their nuclear weapons, we were all like, oh, geez, that was a terrible idea. Terrible mistake, terrible idea. But again, you see it got them to cease fire. I mean, of course, the way they're responding back is kind of selfish, and what they're doing is really, and I don't blame Trump for being upset because, I mean, it's like the war that, again, with Russia and Ukraine, that just never, it's more or less, it's like you don't even know that these people don't even know what they're doing. That what they're doing, honestly, is ridiculous, And then even when they say they agree to cease fire and then they go to try to pull something else, and it's like, so I don't blame really too much really on Trump being upset over that because it's like, it is upsetting because it's like, you guys agree to this and then you go and try to pull something sneaky, and it's like, really, what are you doing? You guys don't know what you're doing. You guys are just like, you started a senseless war, which we all knew was going to happen. If you're with me in faith and this and that, God himself has been giving warnings that this was going to happen. Just like the rioting that happened in LA and around the country. Again, he's given warnings about that, which mostly that's distractions. But again, so I don't blame Trump, honestly, for telling it like it is. Because again, you have to sometimes, people. Like, even for me, I always feel like, dude, it don't matter how I say something, and I'm just giving my honest opinion. I don't expect nobody to agree. You can't always sugarcoat it. I mean, you got to sugarcoat things because, yeah, you worry about hurting someone's feelings or making someone mad. And even though you're not even trying to, you're just being straightforward and honest, but and it's like, yeah, but man, at the end of the day, it don't matter whether you sugarcoat something or you just really give it to somebody straight up. They're going to get mad anyway. They're going to get mad and get triggered no matter how you put it. And I've seen that. It does, like, dude, it don't matter what I say or how I put it. People are going to get mad and be down in the comments acting crazy and acting a fool. So it's like, what's the difference how I say it? So I would rather just say it straightforward and be honest than just sit here and try to make it all nicey when it's like, it really don't matter. It really don't make a difference. And one thing about Trump is he's not afraid to tell things straightforward and honest and don't sugarcoat it. And he didn't this time when he said, he told the news reporter about that, and he's, then he's like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? And you know what? And of course the news media, how they'll take it. They'll twist it around this and that. But it's like, number one, how Trump, I don't blame Trump being hard on the news people because you see how they are with him. But it's like, and you see how they like to lie and twist things around. And it's like, so you have to give it to them straightforward and no sugarcoating to get them to understand, But of course they still, no matter what. But yeah, I mean, when I seen that clip, I'm like, yeah, Trump's mad, of course. And I don't blame for being a little upset because, I mean, what really is going on with Israel and Iran is actually really just mostly silly in the way that they're acting. So it's like, yeah, it is ridiculous. But again, we all know, again, a lot of the stuff is happening for purpose reasons. But yeah, I don't know if any of you seen that. I'm sure some of you have, or you've seen it, because again, you know how everybody has to, in their right mind, share everything. But it's like, for me, it's like, yeah, man, yeah, Trump's being mad, but it's like, and then, but it's like, yeah, man, but really, can you really hardly blame, I mean, like I said, a lot of this stuff and what Iran and Israel, the way that they're doing things is crazy, and it's like, really, yeah, do they really know what they're doing? They really don't, and it's like, again, it's all senseless. It's like, you guys pretty much just picked a war and started a war that, do you even know what you're wanting to fight about? You just all wanted to start bombing each other, killing innocent people, whether it's our own people or, whoever. So, yeah, I really don't blame, because it's just like, come on, people. I understand it's all about power, control. Just as much half the time, it's like it's more always about money or whatever. But it's like, you people can't just always come up with something and just live your lives and have peace, or really just live your life and focus on your own countries. It's, no, man, it's let's destroy each other's countries, the people in it, I don't know. But I know, I'm sure, like I said, a lot of you have probably, you've probably seen that, and it was just like, and the way people are acting, but it's like, okay, yeah, dude, man, Trump dropped the F-bomb. And yeah, maybe that's unprecedented, or however you want to say it, but it's like, dude, you don't blame Trump for being upset. And like I said, Trump, people, you should know by now, is not afraid to say it like it is. I mean, like I said, you have to sometimes. Like I said, you can't just make everything always nicey and sugarcoat all the time, because you know what? That's when people don't listen. So when you give it straightforward and don't sugarcoat it, that's when you get people's attention and they listen. And that's what you have to do sometimes. You really just got to give it to somebody hardcore and give it to them straight, because that's when they pay attention and listen. But when you give it all nicey and soft, and it's like you might as well just talk to the wall. So, yeah, I really don't blame, But I just had to, like I said, make a video, because, even though I'm not much on talking, I know, with this whole politics stuff, and because, like I said, no matter what goes on in this country, again, but I just thought that was crazy, like I said. But again, I also really don't somewhat blame, because again, it is crazy what is truly going on, and like I said, the way they're going by this war, so anyway, guys, take it easy.